CAT 2024 series, and the series is about the preparation of the coming year CAT, and we will be looking at 500 most expected DILR questions topic of this series, wherein we solve two sets of LRDI or a combination of both. So let's begin with our first set for the day. Okay, so it covers the entire space, so I will hide myself. Okay. A tea master was assigned to rate teas from 6 different locations: Munnar, Wayanad, Ooty, Darjeeling, Assam, and Himachal. These teas were placed in 6 cups, numbered 1 to 6, not necessarily in the same order. The tea tester was asked to rate these teas on the strength of their flavor on a scale of 1 to 10. He gave a unique integer rating to each tea. So there are 6 cups. There are 6 different locations, but the scale is from 1 to 10, as in out of 10 points on the scale, only 6 are going to be utilized, 4 are not. Some other information is given below. Cup 6 contained tea from Himachal. Tea from Ooty got the highest rating, but it was not in cup 3. The rating of tea in cup 3 was double the rating of the tea in cup 5. Only 2 cups got ratings in even numbers. Cup 2 got the minimum rating, and this rating was an even number. Tea in cup 3 got a high rating than in cup 1. The rating of tea from Wayanad was more than the rating of tea from Munnar, but less than that from Assam. Okay, so we have 3 attributes here. The first attribute being the location, the second one being the cup number, and the third one being the scale or the point awarded to it. So let's look at the questions and then decide how to proceed with it. The first question is, what was the second highest rating given? What was the number of the cup that contained tea from Ooty? If the tea from Munnar did not get the minimum rating, what was the rating of the tea from Wayanad? If cups containing teas from Wayanad and Ooty had consecutive numbers, and so on. So going through the questions, it gives us a fairly good idea as to we need the entire combination of the location, the cup number, and the rating given to it. Also, reading question number 3 and 4, it tells us that we will not be able to get everything in line, as in there are going to be certain combinations that we will not be able to solve. So we should be prepared with it. Okay, so this becomes a little tricky, because if we are not able to solve something, that may be because of our own failures that we are not able to solve it, or maybe that is actually not supposed to be solved. So we would not know that unless and until we have got options matching answers, right? So how should we proceed drawing this? So I think we need a 3-column table where we will have the rating given to them, and then we will have the location of them, and then we will have the cup number given to them. Now, since the ratings are from 1 to 10, that will mean we will need another 10 rows. So we need a table of 3 by 10. If we include the heading, so we need 11 by 3 by 11, 3 columns and 11 rows. So give me a moment. In the meantime, I will draw it in the next one. Okay. So in the meantime, you guys can also try to draw that table. Right. Okay. So this is how I have drawn the table, and everything on the same slide so that we can keep track of things. So let's call the first column as rating, the second one as the location, and the third one as cup number. I have made sure that rating and cup number are far from each other. They are not consecutive, because they both contain numbers and it can get a little confusing. Okay. So the ratings are fixed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these are fixed ratings. Okay. Cup 6 contain tea from Himachal. We don't know where cup 6 is, so we can't go ahead with it. Tea from Ooty got the highest rating, but it was not in cup 3. Now the highest rating could be 10, it could be 9, it could be 8, it could be 7, it could be 6. It can't be 5 because we need 6 cups, and highest rating is going to be either 10, 9, 8 or 7 or 6, right? So second also gives us a lot of scenarios, so we're going to ignore this. Okay, so we have certain part that exceeds. Okay, so let's extend it. थोड़ा आसान हो जाएगा. The rating of tea in cup 3 was double the rating of tea in cup 5. So if cup 5 is rating 1, cup 3 will be 2. If it is 2, it is 4, it is 3, it is 6, 4, 8, 5 and 10. So there are going to be 5 cases from the third statement. But we know that cup 3 lies below cup 5, right? So we will have cup number 3, which is going to be below cup number 5. And we know that below cup 3 also, we have got a cup which has got the highest rating. This is using second statement, right? So Ooty wala highest hai, but wo cup 3 nahi hai. So this definitely tells us that cup 3 cannot be 10, which means cup 5 cannot be 5. So it can be 8 or 6 and so on. Now, only 2 cups got ratings in even numbers. Well, we are pretty sure that cup 3 is an even number. So if cup 3 is an even number, so let's look at this. If cup 3 is even number, then this is going to be our cup number 5. But this is not possible because we have another cup which has got the highest rating, which should be below 3. So this 3 and 5 will not work out. The next possibility is if this is cup 3, so we will have cup 5 as this. So we have got 2 even numbers, right? Very much possible. Now, since we need 4 more cups, these 4 more cups can go to the odd numbers that are available to us. So that will not be an issue. So this is very much possible. Next cup 3 we can have is going to be at cup number 6. And we cannot go below that. So cup number 3 is going to be either at 6 or it is going to be at 8. These are the only 2 possibilities where cup number 3 can go. Right? Okay, no, cup number 3 can be 4. Yeah, it can be 4 also. If cup number 3 is 4, cup number 5 will become 2, and then we can have the higher one below it. So these are 3 possibilities that cup number 3 can go to. Now, cup 2 got the minimum rating, and this rating was an even number. So that tells us that cup number 3 cannot be 8, because if cup number 3 is 8, cup number 5 is 4, right? It's twice of that. So we have 2 even numbers here, and it is given that we have only 2 cups that have got even number ratings, and cup 2 has also got an even number rating, so that's not possible. So we have got rating 6 given to cup 3, and cup 2 got the minimum rating, and this rating was an even number. So the minimum value that we can choose is this, right? Okay, so that means cup 3 is going to be definitely 6. That means cup 5 is going to be definitely 3. So we are done with cup 3 was double. Only 2 cups got ratings in even numbers. That means we can actually eliminate rating number 4. You can't have even rating anymore. So these are done. So we are left with 1, 5, 7 and 9. So 4 more ratings are left, and we have 3 cups to be placed. Okay, we will look into it. Tea in cup 3 got a higher rating than that in cup 1. So it tells us cup 1 is above 3. If it is above 3, and this is not allowed because 2 got the minimum, it's given. So we can now fairly say that the number above 3 is going to be 1. And we are given that T from UT got the highest rating. So this is the T from UT, which got the highest rating, which is 9. And T in cup 3 got a higher rating than in cup 1. Okay, cup 6 contain T from Himachal. So obviously we can have 6 from either of rating 7 or 9. 9 already has UT. So we will have Himachal. And this is going to be 6. So the leftover cup is cup number 4. Seventh statement says the rating of tea from Wayanad was more than the rating of tea from Munnar. So Wayanad should lie below Munnar, and it should be less from Assam. So we need to have Munnar, Wayanad and Assam in that sequence. Well, these are the 4 places left where we are supposed to put in these 3 values. Well, I think there are going to be 3 possibilities. Suppose if this is Munnar, then this is going to be Wayanad, this is going to be Assam. So this is one possibility. If this is Munnar, this is Wayanad, and this can be Assam. Okay, looks like more than 3. The next possibility is we have Munnar here, we can have Wayanad here, and we can have Assam here. And the 4th possibility being we can have Munnar at the next location now, because all the Munnar ka 2 is done. Munnar, this is going to be Wayanad, and this is going to be Assam. So the leftover is Darjeeling. So we can have Darjeeling here, we can have Darjeeling here, we can have Darjeeling here, and we can have Darjeeling here. So we have 4 possibilities from here. So we know exact ratings, we know exact cup, and we know the exact location. Let's do one thing. Let's reread the statements in our mind and try to understand if we have, try to see if we have made any mistake or not. Okay, doesn't look any problem. We have covered all the things that are required, right? Chalo, first question. What was the second highest rating given? The second highest rating given is 3. Or sorry, second highest, niche se. So it's 7, not 3. So second highest rating given is 7. What was the number of the cup that contained tea from UT? So the number of the cup that contained tea from UT ke right mein, it's cup number 4. So it's going to be cup number 4. Third, if the tea from Munnar did not get the minimum rating, tea from Munnar did not get the minimum rating. So we're talking about Darjeeling, Munnar, Wayanad and Assam, the last possibility out of these 4 cases, right? What was the rating of the tea from Wayanad? So Wayanad wale tea ka jo rating tha, that was 5, right? So this is going to be option B. Next, if cups containing teas from Wayanad and Ooty had consecutive numbers. So Wayanad and Ooty consecutive numbers, where will we find them? So Wayanad and Ooty, hold on, what does it say? Cups containing teas from Wayanad and Ooty had consecutive numbers. Now Ooty is 4, the Wayanad, see the cup number is the last column, right? So Ooty ka cup number 4 hai, and if you want Wayanad ka cup number to be consecutive with Ooty's cup number, it's going to be either 3 or 5. Now 3 pe we do not have any Wayanad, at 5 we do have Wayanad, so we have got these 2 possibilities, right? In both of these cases, Munnar, Wayanad is the second and third rating, and 5th and 6th go to Assam and Darjeeling in some order. So the subsequent part is, which of these following statements may be true? Cup 5 contains tea from Assam. Is it going to be true? No, because cup 5 to Wayanad ka hoga. Cup 1 contains tea from Darjeeling. Cup 1 contains tea from Darjeeling. Yes, it may be true, right? Maybe. Tea from Wayanad has got a rating of 6. Tea from Wayanad has got a rating of 6. At a rating of 6, we don't see any Wayanad. It's Darjeeling or Assam. So this is wrong. Tea from Darjeeling got the minimum rating. Darjeeling was never at the top in these two cases. So the fourth option is also false. So this tells us that B gets the best contention here out of the 4 options. So that becomes maybe. So B is the answer. Okay, now next set. Let me unhide myself. Okay, Sonu, result is totally against me. What should I do, sir? Please help. I feel everything. अरे सोनू अभी तो और एग्जाम्स है ना, आपके CAT पे निर्भर थे. Did you not fill the forms of other exams? NMAT, SNAP, that MHCET is about to happen. TISCA exam is about to be released. I mean, उसका forms आएगा, सब चीजें. Have you not gone through any of that? Tell me. फॉर्म भरे होंगे ना, ठीक है. सो ये तो दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू विल हैव टू डू, राइट. सारे फॉर्म्स भरने चाहिए. वी शुडेंट बी लाइक नहीं, वन एग्जाम इज गुड इनफ एंड आई विल ओनली टारगेट द बेस्ट कॉलेज एंड ऑल दैट. वो फिर गड़बड़ हो जाता है, इजंट इट? Okay, so let's start with our next set. Okay. Machine M1 as well as machine M2 can independently produce either product P or product Q. So M1 will either produce P or will produce Q, and accordingly M2 will produce P or Q. मतलब दोनों P simultaneously they can simultaneously produce Q. The time taken by machines M1 and M2 in minutes to produce 1 unit of product P and Q are given in the table below. Each machine works 8 hours per day. The number of product P that machine M1 produces one product is in 10 minutes. So please remember, this is the duration and this is not the number of units produced. So 10 minute में एक करता है, ठीक है? And nothing else is given. So let's look at the questions. What is the maximum number of units that can be manufactured in one day? So if we look at the duration, पर आपको दिख रहा है ये वाला टेबल? नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay, so if you look at the duration which the machines take, right, to produce, the number of minutes that the machines take to produce units, the lowest is going to be 6, right? 6 minutes. So 6 minutes में they produce 1. So this is the lowest duration. So हम क्या करेंगे? M1 will produce Q, product Q, and M2 will also produce Q. ऐसा तो जरूरी नहीं है कि P and Q both should be produced. They both are going to produce Q. Why? Because Q जल्दी बनता है दोनों machines से. So Q produces 1 unit in 6 minutes. So that would mean 10 units in 60 minutes. 60 minutes is nothing but 1 hour. So it will produce 80 in 8 hours because 8 hours is what they work every day. So M2 के लिए things doesn't change. So it also produces 80 in 8 hours. So in one day, they will together produce a total of 160 maximum units. We can't go beyond that. So the answer is supposed to be B. Okay. Next, if M1 works at half its normal efficiency, so agar efficiency is half, that means M1 will now take 20 minutes to produce product P and it will take 12 minutes to produce product Q. यानी अब M1 जो है सबसे ज्यादा टाइम लगाएगा दोनों बनाने में. What is the maximum number of units produced if at least one unit of each must be produced? Right? So in this particular scenario, obviously one particular machine can only produce one particular product at a given time. है ना? So M2 को तो हम सबसे ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस होगा ये, because it takes only 6 minutes. So what I will do is I will be like M2 will produce Q, right? Okay. So पूरे दिन भर M2 Q ही प्रोड्यूस करेगा. If M2 produces Q in the entire day, so we have already seen that it will produce 80 units alone. Now let's look at M1. जब M2 was producing Q entire day, so M1 should produce between P and Q entire day. Now M1 takes 5 minutes. M1 takes 12 minutes to produce 1 unit of Q. So यानी कि 60 minutes में it will produce 5 units. Right? तो 8 hours में it will produce 8 into 5, 40 units. So we will have a total of 120 units that will be produced. But the problem here lies is that they both will end up producing 120 units of Q only, but it is given that at least 1 unit of each must be produced. So in that case, we should rather either choose M2 or M1. किसी एक को पकड़ लेते, ठीक है? So suppose M2 के जो ये 80 units produce हुए थे, out of these 80 units, if I produce only 78 units of Q, and if I produce 78 units of Q, that means 12 minutes we save, right? Because we are not producing 2 more units. When these 12 minutes is saved, we can use it to produce 1 unit of P. So that we have at least 1 unit of P as well. So instead of 80 units, now we will have 1 unit of P, 78 units of Q from M2. So this is all from M2, and M1 will produce, and M1 will produce 40 units in that one day. So we will have 79 plus 40, which will give us 119 units overall. So D becomes our answer. ठीक है? Answer would have been 120, but वो option में नहीं है, thankfully. अगर this last part was not under as a condition कि every unit P and Q का एक unit तो कम से कम बनना चाहिए. So 119. Next, what is the least number of machines required to produce 30 pieces of P and 25 pieces of Q respectively? Minimum number of machine hours. Well, it doesn't matter who produces Q because both the machines, they take equal amount as an equal number of minutes, right? So इसमें दिक्कत नहीं है. So Q will not be, I mean, we are not going to face any difficulty in Q. Now we want P to be produced quicker because we need least number of machine hours. ये machine नहीं है, machine hours है. So we are talking about least duration that we need, right? This is only going to work efficiently if P is being produced by M2. And while M2 was producing P, M1 should be producing Q in that meantime, right? तो हम लोग शुरू करते हैं पहले Q से. So M1 produces Q. Now M1 produces 10 units in 1 hour. So since it has to produce 25 pieces of Q, so it will produce 25 units in 2.5 hours. Okay? Okay. 2.5 hours is nothing but 150 minutes. Okay. Now, in the meantime, M2 will start producing P. इस 2.5 घंटे P को खाली M2 को नहीं खाली छोड़ेंगे ना. It should produce P. Now P produces 8 minutes में 1 unit. So we should rather take 120 minutes. So in 120 minutes, that is 2 hours, 120 minutes में, it will be producing only 50 units. Now we need another 15 units of P to be produced. So baki half an hour, that is in 30 minutes, it will be able to produce 30 by 8, which is 3. So 3 more units. So there are 6 minutes that are still unused, but we can't do anything about it. So 3 minutes may actually, it will not be utilizing the entire 30 minutes. It will be utilizing only the 24 minutes, right? So it ends up producing 18 units. And we have all the units of Q being produced. P abhi bhi bacha hua hai. Now, what will happen is, now P and Q, they both will start producing, sorry, M1 and M2, they both will start producing P. Because Q is, we are done with. Q complete ho chuka hai. P is still left. Now M1 and M2 both produce P. Now 12 units produce karna hai. So if I see, if I look at M2 ke 6 minutes are left, right? So looking at the options, can we say 4 hours to lagna hi hai? So if M2 works for 4 hours, that is 240 minutes, it will be producing 2.5 hours, and 4 hours hai, so 240 minutes mein it will be producing 30 units. Because in 2 hours it produces 15 units. So ye utne mein karega. Okay. Now, if I want M1 and M2 to produce, okay, actually we are done. इतने में काफी था. इतना काफी था. We should have not gone after this. If it produces 15 units in 2 hours, it will produce 30 units in 4 hours. That is 240 minutes. In case किसी को conversion में दिक्कत है. So in order to produce Q quickest, it takes 2.5 hours. In order to produce P quickest, it will take 4 hours, right? क्योंकि आप ये सोचो कि M2 takes 8 minutes to produce P and M1 takes more than 8 minutes, so it's preferable to use M2 entirely to produce P. क्योंकि अगर M1 को बुला लेंगे तो फिर वो ज़्यादा टाइम लेने वाला है. Now, the number of machine hours required will be Q के लिए 2.5 hours, P के लिए 4 hours, so that means total of 6.5 hours, right? So हमें उसका combination नहीं देखना था. Simple question was, what is the least number of machines required to produce 30 units of P? उसका minimum time कितना है? That is 4 hours. What is the least number of machine hours required to produce 25 pieces of Q? उसका duration कितना है? 2.5 hours. What is the total sum, as in 6.5 hours? Option A हो जाएगा. ठीक है? Okay, next question. Before I move towards the next question, there is no doubt here in the chat. Okay. If the number of units of P is to be 3 times that of Q, what is the maximum idle time to maximize total units manufactured? Total units manufacture करने का maximum idle time is going to be what? Now, since P has to be produced most, we will make sure that M2 does it. And in the meantime, Q is going to produce M1, right? So, we know that M2 produces, we just saw, no? 30 units in 4 hours. So that will make 60 units in 8 hours. ठीक है. While this was being produced, M1 was producing, it has to produce 20 units. So how many units will it produce? It takes 6 minutes for each M1 to produce 1 unit of Q. So 10 1 घंटे में, so ये 2 hours लगने वाले. If the number of units of P is to be 3 times that of Q, what is the maximum idle time to maximize total units manufactured? Okay. So M2 has utilized its entire day operation. M1 has utilized only 2 hours of its entire day utilization. So M1 has still 6 hours to go. If M1 has still 6 hours to go, so what M1 will do is, it will produce 1 unit of Q in 6 minutes, and it will produce 3 units of P in 30 minutes. So the time taken for M1 alone to keep that ratio is 36 minutes for every pair. Now, if this continues, we have got 6 hours still left. 6 hours means we have got 360 minutes still left. So we can say that this particular process of M1 can go on 10 times. So that we end up having 360 minutes. The entire time is utilized, and eventually we will have number of units of P, which is going to be 3 times the number of units of Q. Right? Because this was already 3 times. And here also this is 3 times. ये नहीं, actually इसके ऊपर वाला arrow. Right? So there is no duration or no minute left, because M1 utilizes 2 hours earlier and 6 hours later on, that's 8 hours, and M2 has already utilized its entire day operation. So there is not a single minute that was left idle for the machines. So the answer is supposed to be A. Okay, next question. If equal quantities of both are to be produced, then out of the 4 choices given below, the least efficient way would be. Least efficient way. अच्छा, ये गलती से आ गया इधर. Least efficient way. See, the least efficient way as of now, it would mean that maximum जो time है वो आपका अंडर यूटिलाइज्ड है, राइट? Let's look at the first option. If I want 48 of each to be produced, so if I look at M2 producing P, so it takes 8 minutes per unit. So for 48 units, it will take 48 into 8 minutes, which is going to give us 384 minutes. Okay, and M1 will be producing 6, as in it will be producing Q. So 48 into 6. So this is going to give us 288 minutes. We have got 8 hours. So 8 hours would mean 8 into 6, 480 minutes. So this is one way. So out of 480 minutes, 384 minutes is for machine 2 and 288 minutes is for machine 1. So there will be a lot of time where it's going to be idle, right? What if I interchange it? Since we need the least efficient way. So let's think about this once. If we interchange it, will that change things? Will it change things? Okay, let's try to understand this again. ठीक है, फिर से कोशिश करते हैं इस क्वेश्चन को समझने की. Since it says if equal quantities of both are to be produced, then out of the 4 choices given below, the least efficient way would be. The least efficient way from the option should be the one that gives least production with highest idle time. अब प्रोडक्शन ज्यादा और कम आइडल हो सकता है रिलेटिवली, और प्रोडक्शन कम और बहुत कम आइडल टाइम हो सकता है रिलेटिवली. सो वी विल हैव टू लुक एट द ऑप्शंस एंड ऑफ कोर्स डिसाइड. सपोज इफ द प्रोडक्शन इज सेम इन ऑल द केसेस, तो हम इसको कैसे कर सकते हैं? थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है. सी आइदर वी कैन टेक द एलसीएम ऑफ द क्वांटिटीज एंड बी लाइक कि हर कोई इतना क्वांटिटी बना रहा है, ठीक है? सपोज द एलसीएम ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दीज नंबर्स 48, 64, 53 एंड 71. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी एन नंबर ऑफ आइटम्स, हर एक का. And if it is idle for every 3 minutes, so accordingly this 3 will change, 12 will change, 10 will change, 9 will change, right? So this is one way to look at this. दूसरा तरीका ये हो सकता है that we take the time का LCM 3, 12, 10 and 9 and suppose this is T, कि इतने टाइम आइडल थे, ठीक है? मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं. Okay, I'll give you an example. So the LCM of 3, 12, 10 and 9 is going to be 180. So 180 minutes. So I'm saying that if it was for every 48 minutes, if it was idle for 3 minutes, so 180 minutes ka, that would mean that I need to multiply it with 60. So those many units were produced, right? Same was the case, same was the logic that we had to include when we took the total number of units produced as the LCM of the units produced each time. Now look, either way we can solve it. Which one is easier? Well, this n is going to be a very difficult one because 53 and 71, they both are prime numbers, so we'll get huge value. So हम लोग इसका नहीं लेते हैं, अपन इसको ले लेते हैं. So 180 minutes is the total time. So looking at option A, can we say this is 60 times? 3 into 60 is 180. So we will have 48 into 60 units produced, which is going to give us 2880 units. Okay, let's look at B. 12 ka how many times is 180? So this is 15 times. So we will have 64 into 15. So 640 plus 320, which will give us 960 units. If we look at C, 10 ka kitna times hai ye? 18 times. So we will have 53 into 18. These many units produced. Now 53 into 18 is it more than 960? Is it less than 960? Well, 53 into 20 is above 1000, right? So this is going to give us 954 units. Okay, D की बात करते हैं. This is 20 times. So 71 into 20 times. So this is going to give us 1420 units. So can we say if all the machines they ran for the same number of hours, the least number of products that are going to be produced is going to be C if the way they work is the way it is given कि 53 minutes आप बनाओ और फिर 10 मिनट idle रह जाओ, फिर 53 minutes बनाओ, फिर 10 minutes idle रह जाओ, right? So looking at this, we can say that same time में it finishes least number of products. Now some of you must be thinking कि sir this is 180 minutes only आपने लिया है, पर actually तो they are working for 8 hours in a day, which is 480. So well, you know what guys, आप ये 180 के अकॉर्डिंग ये आया है, इसको अगर आप 2 times भी कर दोगे तो everything will get double. The one that is least will remain least. So don't you think it doesn't matter, right? तो इसीलिए आप टाइम कांस्टेंट कर दिया. What actually efficiency is the work done per time. So if this is going to be constant, we only have to look at the work and accordingly we get to know what is the efficiency going to be. Kiska higher, kiska lower, in other words. So C becomes our answer. Okay everyone. So the last question was a tricky one, right? You can unlock your 3 days free trial access of BYJU'S Exam Prep app. The link is given in the description as well as in the chat. You can download it from there. You can enroll in our CAT and non-CAT 2023 test series that includes more than 80 marks, 10,000 practice questions, video solutions, and subtopic tests. You can talk to our counselor by clicking on that button which says talk to your counselor on the home page of our app. You can also predict your CAT score, which the result is already out. So you don't have to predict that, but you can compare with how close our score calculator and percentile predictor is as compared to the actual CAT. So you can see that we are very close to what CAT gives or predicts. CAT college predictor is one particular tool that will help you understand which college to go for. This is also pinned in the chat. Make sure that you check it out. And please do not forget to join us on 7th of January for first impression and detailed analysis of ZAT 2024. Okay. Please do look into our social media handles and pages. Make sure that you join our Telegram channel for doubts and everything. That's all for today. Thank you everyone. I'll see you.